Junior trade liaison Ryan Cole was having the worst day of his 6-month diplomatic career, and it was about to get significantly worse. His supervisor, the actual senior liaison who was supposed to handle this negotiation, had called in sick 2 hours before the scheduled meeting with Queen Velrissa of the Sarathine Empire, which left Ryan, fresh out of training and catastrophically unprepared, sitting alone in a throne room the size of a small starship hangar, reviewing contract clauses he only half understood. The Sarathine were intimidating under the best circumstances. Tall, powerfully built, with those distinctive long ears that could detect heartbeat changes from across a room and eyes that analyzed body language with predatory precision. Queen Velrissa was particularly imposing. She radiated authority like a star radiated heat, and every courtier maintained careful distance as if getting too close might result in combustion. Ryan had been awake since 300 reviewing trade regulations. He'd consumed approximately 4 liters of terrible station coffee. His brain felt like it had been replaced with cotton wadding, and his verbal filters were operating at maybe 30% capacity. The contract negotiation was proceeding with agonizing formality. Ryan read clauses in his stumbling Sarathine. The Queen responded with precise corrections. Courtiers whispered among themselves about the inadequate human replacement. Ryan was sweating through his formal jacket and trying not to think about how his career was probably ending before it properly started. Queen Velrissa stood to retrieve a document from her attendant, and the movement caught Ryan's eye. She moved with that controlled grace that spoke of either extensive combat training or decades of formal dance. Perfect balance, precise weight distribution, posture that his exhausted brain immediately cataloged as biomechanically excellent. And because Ryan's mouth was operating independently from his brain, what came out was, "You have excellent posture, really, structurally impressive form." The throne room went absolutely silent. Every courtier froze. The Queen's attendants stopped moving. Even the guards at the door seemed to hold their breath. Ryan's brain caught up to his mouth approximately 3 seconds too late and realized with horrible clarity that he'd just casually commented on the Queen's physical appearance in front of the entire court. His diplomatic handbook had specifically warned against this. Multiple times, with highlighted sections and footnotes about cultural sensitivity, he was going to be fired, or arrested, or fired and then arrested. Queen Velrissa turned slowly, her long ears sweeping forward to lock onto him with laser focus. Her expression was completely unreadable. Ryan prepared to apologize, resign, and flee the planet in that order. The silence stretched. Queen Velrissa's eyes, those analytical Sarathine eyes, studied Ryan with an intensity that made him want to dissolve into the floor. Then her lips curved into something that might have been a smirk. "Structurally impressive," she repeated, and her voice held something between amusement and dangerous curiosity. "That is the phrase you chose. Not elegant, not regal, not beautiful. Not any of the traditional flattery one might offer a monarch." She moved closer, and Ryan fought every instinct to step back. "Structurally impressive, as if you were assessing architecture rather than a person." Her long ears tilted forward in that way Ryan's briefing materials said indicated intense focus or potential aggression. "Explain this assessment, Trade Liaison Cole, in detail. The entire court is fascinated by your architectural analysis of royal anatomy." Ryan realized several things simultaneously. She wasn't angry. She was entertained and testing him. He could apologize profusely, claim exhaustion, retreat behind diplomatic language. Or he could commit to the accidental honesty that his coffee-addled brain had initiated. "Your posture demonstrates excellent spinal alignment and core stability," Ryan heard himself saying, deciding that if embarrassment was going to kill him anyway, he might as well be thorough. "The way you move suggests significant training in either combat or dance, precise balance, controlled weight distribution, conscious engagement of stabilizing muscle groups. From a biomechanical perspective, it's genuinely impressive." He paused, realized he was still talking, and couldn't seem to stop. "Also, aesthetically speaking, the overall composition is quite striking. But I led with the structural analysis because I'm apparently incapable of offering normal human compliments when operating on 4 hours of sleep and excessive caffeine." The throne room erupted into barely suppressed reactions, shocked whispers, stifled laughter, courtiers exchanging glances that ranged from scandalized to delighted. Queen Velrus's smirk became a genuine smile. Her long ears relaxed slightly, intrigue rather than offense, according to Ryan's frantic mental review of briefing materials. Aesthetically striking, she mused, but you emphasize the structural elements first. Most beings who dare comment on my appearance, and they are remarkably few and remarkably foolish, offer flowery praise about beauty or grace or regal bearing. She was directly in front of him now. You assessed me like you would evaluate engineering specifications. Her eyes analyzed his body language with that predatory Seraphine precision. Your heart rate is significantly elevated. You recognize the diplomatic irregularity of your statement, yet you expanded upon it rather than retreating into apology. Why? Ryan knew this was some kind of test. He was too tired and too far committed to calculate the correct diplomatic answer, so he told the truth instead. Because apologizing would imply I said something wrong, Your Majesty. I gave an honest compliment, just phrased like someone who's been reviewing structural engineering contracts for 6 hours and whose brain forgot how to interact like a normal human being. He paused. Also, with respect, you asked me to explain in detail. Seemed rude to ignore a direct royal command just because I'm embarrassed about my terrible word choice. Queen Velrusa laughed, actual, genuine laughter that made her honor guards visibly relax and the courtiers whisper even more frantically. Repeat your initial assessment, she commanded, her voice carrying through the throne room. The exact phrase. I wish the court to hear it clearly. Ryan felt his face burning but maintained eye contact because his diplomatic training had at least taught him that much. You have excellent posture. Structurally impressive form. Continue, Velrusa prompted, her smirk returning. And, since I'm apparently fully committed to career-ending honesty at this point, the confidence with which you carry yourself makes the structural elements even more aesthetically compelling. It's not just that your biomechanics are sound, it's that you clearly know they are and move accordingly. That awareness, that confidence, that's what caught my attention initially. Ryan paused, then added because his filter was completely gone. Most beings with that level of physical capability either downplay it or weaponize it aggressively. You do neither. You simply exist with perfect awareness of your own presence. That's actually remarkable, Your Majesty. The throne room was completely silent now, everyone waiting for Velrus's response. Her expression held genuine pleasure, not anger, not offense, but what looked like satisfied interest. The human offers unvarnished observation disguised as awkward compliment, she announced to the court. He assesses royal anatomy like trade goods, with technical precision and inadvertent honesty that borders on refreshing audacity. She turned back to Ryan. Tell me, trade liaison Cole, do you habitually offer structural analysis of beings you find attractive, or am I specially honored by your engineering perspective? Ryan realized with a jolt that she was flirting. The Queen was flirting with him about his terrible biomechanical compliment. His diplomatic career was going in directions his training had never covered. Generally, I manage to filter my thoughts before they exit my mouth, Your Majesty. Today I'm operating on inadequate sleep, excessive caffeine, and apparently that combination transforms me into someone who comments on spinal alignment instead of using normal compliments like a functional adult. Normal compliments are tiresome, Velrusa countered. I receive elaborate praise daily. Empty flattery from courtiers too afraid to speak honestly, careful compliments from diplomats following their handbooks. Her long ears performed a complex movement Ryan couldn't interpret. Your assessment was neither empty nor particularly flattering in the conventional sense, yet somehow far more compelling than 1,000 rehearsed compliments about beauty or grace. She studied him with those analytical eyes. You will join me for dinner this evening. Private dining chamber. I wish to determine if your structural analysis extends to other topics, or if you simply have catastrophically unfortunate verbal timing specifically regarding anatomy. Is that a royal command or an invitation, Your Majesty? Ryan asked before his brain could stop his mouth. Velrusa's smirk returned, sharper now. Does the distinction matter, trade liaison? Either way, you will attend. Bring your unfiltered observations. Leave your diplomatic handbook at your quarters. I find I vastly prefer your accidental honesty to calculated protocol.